Hi, friends. I just wanted to take a few minutes more to talk to you about the concept of sociocultural theory. It's by Vygotsky. And what Vygotsky did was he said that he looked at Piaget's work and he said the piece that he thought Piaget was missing was the social interaction with other people. And so he came up with this idea called sociocultural theory and how we use the things in our culture and in our society to help us learn rather than just simply going through stages on their own. So it's called, again, the shortened part of a piece of the theory is called zone of proximal development. And that's what we're most concerned about. And it's by Vygotsky. And so on your egg shape that you printed out, we're going to find out if you're in the zone. So there's an egg yolk and then sort of an oval egg. It's not really a perfect egg, but the yellow part, the yolk, stands for the learner alone. And that's what a learner can accomplish on their own without any help. In one of my classes, we had a long debate about what do you really learn on your own? Because even like language, you're mimicking your parents until you can form words and language. There's not a whole lot that you can learn on your own. But let's say once you're in school and you're trying to learn the things that the teacher's giving you, math, science, reading, whatever. If you're left on your own, this is how much you could do. Then there's a line that goes out to the edge of the shell of this weird egg. And that means the learner with assistance. It's what the learner can do when they have something that helps them. Now, we often think of that as like the teacher or a tutor or maybe parents or maybe even more knowledgeable other kids that can help them learn. But what Vygotsky talked about, he did mention those things, but he also mentioned cultural tools. And the tools that we have in our culture that help people learn is what he was interested in. So if you stop and think for a second, especially in the USA culture, United States culture, we have no excuse for people not learning because we have textbooks and computers and the television, instruction guides, teacher aids, all sorts of stuff that's available to us to help kids learn or to help us learn. So that is how far the learner, this egg shape is how far the learner can progress with assistance. Then there's sort of a dotted line that you're going to put on your egg, or it might be already on your egg. And you're going to draw a dotted line going back. And take a second, and what do you think that might represent? There's the learner alone, and then the learner with assistance. What do you think? Well, it's actually after the assistance leaves. So what it's saying is, the theory is saying is, you can do better when you have assistance, but once the assistance leaves you, you will withdraw some. They call that a natural line of regression. The dotted line in the inner circle is a natural line of regression, which means that anyone will always do better when you have assistance than you do after the assistance leaves. So you're going to take a minute, and the next part of this activity is to think of questions. We're going to pretend that you're a teacher, and already, or maybe you are. And what's a question a parent might ask you that the answer would be, well, Vygotsky says, and then we're going to list those and hopefully talk about them. All right, so that's zone of proximal development. If you can't remember zone of proximal development, it's often called ZPD for short. And you can always think of Disneyland when you think of this theory, because Zeepity-doo-dah, zeepity-a. A little joke for you today. Not a great joke, but okay. So that's zone of proximal development.